Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne. Look, I'm not live tonight, but I'll put this up in lieu of that. Hopefully this will help. I'm going to be all over the place for the next 7 weeks or so as I try and finish off my assignments to have my degree finished by the end of November. So everything's going to be all over the place. So thank you for your understanding. But look, the night the assignment going to go live, Friendly Geordies drops a bombshell, and I thought we'd do a live reaction. I did actually watch it live, so I thought I'd do a reaction to it and what we can do to help, because we've got to get this momentum going. What is happening is wrong, totally and utterly wrong, and I don't agree with the actions they're going. So let's get into it. Let's watch it, and please make sure you subscribe to his channel. And let's go.
If there's any arm of the public service that's done more to lose public trust in the past few years, it's been the police. And look, I'm not criticising every cop. I feel sorry for the dedicated, hard-working cops out there that have been forced to work under the current leadership. As in the Western world, you'd be hard-pressed to find a larger, more politically compromised police force than the New South Wales Police. Headed by...
Now, Mick Fuller is the neighbour of ScoMo, the Australian Prime Minister, just so you know. And it says here, Scott Morrison under fire for calling New South Wales Police Commissioner over Angus Taylor. New South Wales Police Commissioner reveals his special connection to Scott Morrison. So we know that there is a connection there. They're neighbours. Neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours.
Man who takes out the bins for Scott Morrison, both metaphorically and literally. Not only that, it seems New South Wales Police Minister David Elliott supposedly has so much control over Commissioner Mick Fuller, he has gotten away with numerous clear-cut crimes that would land any normal people in jail. New South Wales Police Minister David Elliott has done everything from using illegal machine guns to impersonating cops, but apparently that behaviour doesn't even warrant a charge from the police force run by Scott Morrison's big man. It would appear that cops have been too busy locking up people in Western Sydney for going out on a walk.
So Western Sydney lockdowns, curfews leave residents totally alienated from the rest of the city. So this was dated the 17th of September. And the people in the southwest of Sydney have been traumatised and made to feel like criminals in their own homes. An inquiry into the state's handling of the pandemic has heard. So we feel targeted because of our ethnicity. Or people in the city's east have been pictured sunbaking at Bondi. Some in its west have been arrested for watching a relative's funeral at a distance from inside their car, the inquiry heard. Wow! We feel like we've been made to feel like criminals in our own homes, Arabic Council of Australia Chief Executive Randa Kattan said. That's what happens when you find yourself flanked by police when you leave a 7-Eleven store. Wow, so this is what he's talking about. So we'll just take it back a bit.
It warrant a charge from the police force run by Scott Morrison's big man. It would appear that cops have been too busy locking up people in Western Sydney for going out on a walk or daring to talk to David Elliott to focus on actual crimes.
Yes, somebody was actually for
going out on a walk or daring.
He's been charged after allegedly intimidating the police minister. He was approached by a man he did not know, according to that. He was approached by a man he did not know, and of course that's intimidation.
To talk to David Elliott to focus on actual crimes. And whilst everyone's getting angry at the militarised, overhanded police presence in Western Sydney, I say, spare a thought for the cops who are getting so tired of COVID restrictions, so hungry for overseas travel, for adventure. They've decided to bring a bit of the foreign, a bit of the exotic, a bit of Pinochet's Chile, Kim Jong-un's North Korea, or Suharto's Indonesia to Australia. Because the same cops that completely bungled the wrongful arrest of my employee Kristo are now having the legal equivalent of a tantrum. Just to show you what a tantrum from the cops looks like, here's...
Uh-oh, we're going to see a tanty.
It's a reminder. I tricked over you. No, I didn't. I came my environment. That's all. What's the legal equivalent, you may ask? Well, because I've been covering the arrest and trial of my employee Kristo, the same police force that didn't do anything when the police minister impersonating the cop, fighting a legal machine gun, has attempted to throw me in jail.
So last time that Kristo went to court, they tried to... the New South Wales Police wanted the court to find Jordan Shanks, Friendly Geordies, in contempt of court. Now, he's not even a party. Like, it's not... This is to do with Kristo, not Jordan. And second of all, he wasn't even there. So in relation to Kristo's stalking, his stalking against, the charges for the fixated persons unit, they're haunting. They wanted to file a contempt of court on Jordan Shanks. Hello.
And Kristo, the same police force that didn't do anything when the police minister impersonated the cop, fired an illegal machine gun, has attempted to throw me in jail for video. Oh! A taste of China without leaving the city. They've been desperate to shut down my coverage of the matter. First, they played some very questionably ethical legal shenanigans, hinting that they were going to serve me for something for weeks, but never serving. Then, the Kristo's here, springing up with a childishly written application for the court to find me in contempt.
Now, in contempt. Hello.
Whilst I wasn't there.
Sorry.
Court to find me in contempt. Whilst I wasn't there. Now, this was a transparent move to deprive me of representation in a hearing almost entirely about me. A motion ex parte, something usually only reserved for the most urgent matters. The cops were arguing that they had to urgently remove my videos about a local court matter, essentially because the video made jokes about cops. Luckily, the magistrate didn't buy the urgency argument, seeing as the video had been up for weeks, and also, surprisingly, the magistrate understood that it is a contempt of court to opine that a certain cop is a grossly incompetent, stupid, violent, aggressive donut addict. Hey, I'm not gross! But that was just...
And don't forget, Kristo's in court again tomorrow.
A small part of the fixated person unit's ongoing stay-at-home North Korean holiday experience. Realising that they handily lost the round, they got to work crafting a document which I can only describe as pure genius. A document where they list their own address as New South Wales Police Headquarters, Charles Street, Parramatta. No wonder they sympathise
So, yes, Parramatta's spelt wrong.
With John's lawyers so much, you seem to have the exact same problem of figuring out location names. I'm so glad these are the same people tasked with catching terrorists. What is this document?
So remember, Barrett Brothers' document said that he was Parliament House, Parliament Drive, Canberra, ACT. Now, Bros was a state politician in New South Wales, not a federal politician in Canberra. And remember, Bros is now a former state politician.
Location names. I'm so glad these are the same people tasked with catching terrorists. What is this document? It's a suppression order for a local court matter. After failing to put me in jail for making videos, the true detectives of the Fixated Persons Unit are attempting to remove videos of Kristo's arrest because they're completely and utterly embarrassed by their own behaviour. Not only that, but they're trying to put a gag order on me to make it illegal for me to cover the trial. Almost every lawyer I've spoken to thinks this order is unprecedented in both its stupidity and its authoritarian nature. It's honestly like the Fixated Persons Unit is made up entirely of bird from the wire. What the f*** you say about me? Let's go bang heads together, the Fixated Persons Unit way. Actually, that's a bit of a harsh comparison. Herc was at least semi-literate. Let's read some of the Terror Police's clearly thought out and articulated demands. The applicant is seeking removal from social media and all digital platforms under the control of the respondent and his associated YouTube channel. Geordies, all material associated with the proceedings of Kristo Lanka, which are listed for hearing in May 2022 at the Downing Centre local.
Okay, so it's listed for hearing in May 2022. Really? Kristo? Well, it's Kristo and Chanel. Isn't that a perfume?
Corn. Well, that should be no problem because I don't have that fragrance from Chanel. Chanel. They called it Chanel 5 times. They didn't even spell it right once. I usually think attacking spelling is a cheap shot, but that's dumb. Also, I've got more great news for you, Matthew Wise, the cop sending the orders. I don't know a Kristo Lanka, let alone have made videos about the court proceedings of a Kristo Lanka. So already, your order's fulfilled. What else do they want? The applicant seeks that a non-publication order in relation to any material from the brief of evidence or commenting about the nature of the evidence, the strength or weakness of the case, and the making of comments adverse or otherwise in relation to any prosecution witness in the proceedings against Mr. Laker. Damn, that's so weird.
So that's okay, but I can comment on it.
The case is strong enough for the cops to spend all this time and money going ahead with it. Why would the cops attempt to ban comments on the strength or weakness of the case? But again, don't worry, Maddie. I agree to your demand. I'm not going to comment on the strength or weakness of the case. Because there is no f***ing case. It's not even a weak case. There's no case, period. How can there be a case if there's no crime? And I know you know there's no case. All of the unit do. That's the exact reason you're trying to stop people from commenting with a f***ing suppression order in the local court. Suppression orders fail on matters regarding national security.
It's a no-brainer. But if they're going to stop friendly Geordies from speaking, it's up to the rest of us to get vocal about it. And that's what this is about. We're going to get vocal about it.
Yet you're trying one out on this shit. You wouldn't be doing this shit if everyone was commenting, oh yeah, hero cops, that was really brave when you smashed Kristo's mum to the ground. For some reason, you can't bring yourselves to do the right thing and just admit you f***ed up and arrested Kristo without any cause, evidence or plan. Did you even have a warrant? It appears you're still going ahead with this extremely expensive charade purely to appease the ego of a man so sensitive he reacts like this when asked.
Remember? Brosman! You're the Brosman. To the Brosman. Sorry.
You do something you clearly did.
I said absolutely not. And again, if you two can be asking that question, it's an indictment on your level of journalism.
Or are you doing it to cover your own asses? What else did these Sherlock Holmes want? The court to order the respondent not to directly or indirectly publish,
I know what word they're trying to say. Disseminate. I can't even say it either. I mean, obviously whoever wrote this can't spell.
Choose any material in relation to court proceedings against Mr. Laker until that court matter is finalised. Again, very easy. I'll agree to another one of your demands. I won't distribute any material. In fact, I'll never distribute any material ever again. Jokes aside, though, this is where the application gets incredibly sinister. The applicant is only seeking removal of material that is directly under the control of the respondent on all social media platforms.
So they only want to stop from the Shanks from talking. They don't care if the rest of us talk. So let's all get vocal. Let's get loud. Well, let's get loud. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So everyone else can talk about Kristo's arrest, but not me. Matthew, I've got to congratulate you on your great work. You've really disproven my criticism that you so heavily object to, that the fixated persons unit is a politically motivated stance designed to gag criticism of government and bureaucracy. And to disprove that criticism, all you had to do was use the fixated persons unit as a politically motivated stance to gag my criticisms of the fixated persons unit. You are an incredibly intelligent bunch of people, and I'm honoured that my taxes go to pay your wages. And I'm sure the majority of Aussies agree with me. Now that we've seen what strike force people want, let's see the grounds they provided as to why the court should grant it. Oh,
I love that look.
What a surprise. It's just a bunch of whinging. The respondent, in conjunction with an associate, Laker, have held a negative agenda against the complainant, Mr. John Barilaro, the Deputy Premier of New South.
Actually, the respondent operates and obtains financial gain from operating a YouTube channel. New Jordans. What has that got to do? As a result, those himself arrested and charged with 4 sequences in relation to his conduct towards the complainant. I thought there was only 2. Where did the other 2 come from? And why? Why does the negative agenda against Barilaro, the videos against Barilaro, have anything to do with the fact that Kristo was stalking and intimidating Bruz? This here is more to do with his defamation case than the actual criminal case, in my opinion.
Wales. Former now, and that's got you guys sweating. It's even in a charter. Can we act on behalf of people who aren't in massive positions of power? Also, John, am I still getting that promotion? John! David! Someone! They have created and aired numerous videos that are derogatory in relation...
Derogatory.
David! Someone! They have created and aired numerous videos that are derogatory in relation to the complainant's political position and his ethnicity. Yes. A negative agenda. I forgot that was on the crimes, that. I look forward to McQueen's hasty arrest of AFR columnist Joe Aston for the very mean articles he's written regarding Barilaro, such as John Barilaro makes the political Z grade, New South Wales will be just fine without John Barilaro. But really, the whole grounds for the application the cops give isn't about the case at all. It's just whinging that I dare talk about the police. Here are some highlights. Shake states he feels a public duty to name the police he says is stalking him and refers to Detective Sergeant McQueen as a careerist cowboy in the police. Well, that's derogatory. What the f***'s a careerist? Also, cowboy, I quit the mounted unit. The horsey scared me. James accuses McQueen of assaulting Lanka, demanding he should be sacked and prosecuted. Shakes states that McQueen is not fit to be a police officer. Shakes asserts that the FPU has prioritised their careers over public safety. I'm allowed to assert this shit. Especially because, as far as I'm aware, McQueen and the rest of the gang haven't faced any punishment for clearly violating the rules. Not so much as a, I don't want to hear it, McQueen. That trip of yours is against regulations. In this department, we go by the book. By book. If you think Kristo and I are taking the politically motivated intimidation lying down, you're even dumber than your kindergarten spelling suggests. To quote Sting, I'm going to expose every last lie you tell, every mistake you make, every trip you fake. I would suggest that the best course of action for people as stupid as you guys would be to stop pulling this shit. Because in the end, you just keep proving my arguments true beyond a shadow of a doubt. And also, you give me more opportunities to laugh at your illiteracy. This is the utter contempt the fixated persons unit holds for you and the public. They have a violent, incompetent, and from what I can gather, a seriously mentally unstable senior police officer running rogue and assaulting people. And instead of disciplining the cop, they are defecating on every mainstream value Australians hold in order to shut down public interest criticism. New South Wales Police under David Elliott and Mick Fuller's leadership have turned into a Praetorian Guard that protects not even any Liberal, literally just David Elliott and his factual allies. But we're not going to let them get away with this. They've completely shown their hand. We know that all they care about is protecting the powerful in their own, and they hate sunlight, which is very funny because due to this arrest, I've heard some pretty interesting stories about you guys. Yeah.
Ooh, popcorn. Let's get the popcorn.
And talking to you, Matthew McQueen, and especially the odd couple Mick Fuller and David Elliott. And if anyone in the audience has any more stories, feel free to email me because the cops can't suppress public interest journalism. In this video, I'll say something the cops have no chance of shutting up. If you believe Matthew McQueen shouldn't be working on the case against Kristo, let alone still have a badge, use your constitutional right to demand that the New South Wales Police #FireMcQueen. The hearing is at 9:30am this Wednesday the 13th at the Downing Centre in Sydney. Let's see if sanity prevails or the cops succeed in making it illegal for me to open my mouth. #FireMcQueen.
All right, so here we go. So there you go. That is what's at stake here. So let's get that hashtag trending. Fire McQueen. I hope you make sure you also go to Friendly Geordie's page, like the video, subscribe, make sure that you get that. Give him all the support. Let's get this out in the open. And while they may think that they can stop Jordan Shanks from talking, the rest of us need to keep this conversation going. Let's keep it going. So let's talk about it on every platform that we can. Hope you have a good one. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.